Hello everyone, my name is Rajesh Kumar and I'm your DevOps SRE DevSecOps coach. So if you'd like to know what you get it from this session, so this is basically a kind of assessment which we have, and if you try to answer these questions in offline, yes, no or not sure, that way you'll get to know what you want and what you get it from the APM session. So primarily here APM will help you to measure your real end user experience, okay, for your website. Also will help you for customers SLAs. Also will help you to find out whether the your website is delivering consistent response time across user and geographies. APM also will help you to find out the underperforming region, the region which is not good for your application performance. APM will also will help you to provide user experience regardless of browser. That means how's the user experience from the Firefox, Chrome, Edge, and things like that. They will also help you in terms of website response time and availability and third-party impact, third-party tool like payment gateways and all, ads and all, how it is impacting your website. So many information you will get it as part of this session. So you should know what is the response time for my request. Let's say you are the SR engineer for Flipkart.com. So Flipkart.com, millions of people are accessing every day. So your job is to know what is their response time. Okay. Look at this here. You have different devices, different browser, different data centers, different web server, app server, database server, third-party gateways and all. And then one user is getting the response time in 300 milliseconds. Other user is getting the response time for the same website 7.5 seconds. So now, hello, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So now you need to know why there's one user, the one user which is getting the response time in 7.5 milliseconds. Why 7.5 seconds? So this is you to need to find out the culprit and so on. So how do we find out the culprit? Why this user is getting response time in 7.5 seconds? Where is the problem? The problem is in Java code, problem is in application server, problem in the JVM, problem is in some app server or whatever it is, third party library. Where is the problem?
Okay.
There's so many data source we have. You have to analyze it and then you need to find out where is the problem. Okay. So now you must be thinking why APM is very important. Why? Why we need to do this work? Why we need to analyze the performance for each user and work on it, right? So look at this. This is the one of the US survey. 1 second delay in response time can reduce conversion by 7%, page views by 11%, and customer satisfaction by 16%. More than half, 51% of the online consumer in the US said the slight slowness is the top reason they would abandon the purchase. When online service fails, 75% of the consumer move to another channel, which can lead to millions of lost dollar. So these are the sum of region which we have. So performance monitoring is very important. Are you understanding?
Yes.
So now the next question is how to monitor, how to do the performance monitoring. This process we call it APM, application performance
Perfect.
monitoring. Okay, so what is APM? APM is nothing but some set of tools you will get it and certain process you need to follow and which will help you to analyze the performance for each user, how much response time they are getting and whether they are happy or not happy. Okay, so this is something which you have. So look at this image here. You need to analyze the performance for the each request, and where the each request you see that here you have a customer, you have a different devices, different browser, different internet service provider, different front end, different web server, app server, database server, different microservices, third party gateways, CDN, and then your traffic is processing through that, and then you get the response from your applications request. Okay, so you need to trace all of these and find out where is the culprit. Let me know here in this image which is causing the slowness, which is causing the slowness.
A database query.
Yeah, so see, your job is to not tell the database query is a problem, because anyone will look in this graph, they'll tell, okay, out of this 22,664 milliseconds of response time, you have a database query which has taken 19,000 plus. Anyone. So what is your job then? Your job is to build this kind of graph, so anyone will look at it and tell, hey, okay, there's a code problem, there's a web server problem, there's a DB problem, or there is a this, that, and kind of problem. So that's your job now. Okay. So what are some of the benefits of APM? Yes, business continuity, reduced downtime for applications, better UX, greater customer satisfaction, higher productivity, decreased reliance on costly experts, greater innovation, reduce operational cost, higher Google ranking, intangible benefits. So now the question is, how do we do APM? Okay, so we have a APM with agent, APM with agentless also, synthetic RM. So how do we collect the data? How do you obtain the data? So you can collect the data using APM agent. Mind it, the infra agent, the
Ye-
one which we covered last time, that is a
Yes.
different. This is a different. So here we call it APM agent. So APM agent basically, you know what, is a code itself. Mind it, it's a code. Let's say you have a
Code.
Java application. So it's Java
Hmm.
code which will be APM agent. If it is a
Okay.
Python, Python code will be your agent. So this APM
Okay.
agent will be running along with your application runtime. See here, this is a solution wherever a piece of software or an agent injected within an applications. That means this APM agent is nothing but the code which will be running along with that your code, you know, and then get you the data of your response time. Okay. Second one is agentless. Agentless is doing nothing but it will hit to the network and port number and get you the data. So in a simple way, if you want internal data, you have to go for agent based solution. If you want from outside, you don't want internal data of response time, then outside if you want, then agentless is good for it. So these are the two ways you can generate and gather APM data. Agent and agentless, both will cover. So what is the process for doing the application performance? So yes, you have to collect the metrics, store it somewhere, check it, stream, archive, and query. These are the things you will do that. So what is the end goal for APM? So end goal for APM is to have automated reports for the problems, alerts, and warnings. Now the question is, which tool is good? See, there in the market there's so many tools are available. I mean, any tools you can go for it. For this session, you have opted for Neuralink. But while selecting the tools for APM, some of the criteria which you can see that here, like your platform is supported, language supported, your developers are familiar or not, ease of use, setup, diagnose, fix, and integration support and pricing. So these are the some of the checklists. You can check it out before going for and selecting the APM. So now what are the list of APMs which we have in the market? So these are the some of the list are larger. New Relic is very popular, App Dynamics, Datadog, Elastic APM. So many APMs we have in the market right now. So now the question is, okay, APM is good in order to find out the performance for your application and user experience for each user. But what are the challenges we have? Challenges are like, see, earlier we were running our data center with the minimal configurations in a virtual world. Now, if you look at this, we have a container world. We are running in the containers applications. So earlier, let's say we have a 50 virtual machines. Now we have a 5,000 containers and pod. So it's like this. Earlier we had a few services. Now we have a too many microservices and so on. Multiple database, multiple region. We do deploy multiple times in a day. So these challenges are growing, okay, in real time. Again, on top of that, different people want different thing. For example, if you're a Java engineer, you say you give me the error rate. If you're a VP, you say you give me the cost. If you are a web developer, you say you will ask for Rails is running or not. So like that, different people, different thing. So how do we serve this all this stuff? That is where the some of the tools like Datadog, New Relic, and other stuff will help you. So did you understand that? What is
Yes.
APM?
Yes.
Yeah. So some of the common terminology which you use in the APM while working with it, and that is number of users. Number of users on a website. The moment you read it, I think you understand that. Nothing great about it. So how many numbers of users you have on your website per second, per minute, per hour, per day, all these stats you may have it. Hits per second. That means how many total hits you are getting per second on your website app. So that is the stats. Error per second. Error means if you see the right side, any response time which is 3x and 4x, sorry, 4x and 5x is considered to be an error. Okay. So if I hit your website and I get a 400 error, that means it's not accessible, client error. So like that.
Hmm.
Sometime you have a server error, means backend code issues. Then I get a 5 error, 5x error. So it's like a server error. So yes, how many errors you are getting per second out of let's say 100, 200, 500, all this, that is a one thing. Response time. So if I hit your website, what is my response time? 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, what exactly? So that is a something which is one of the stats. Latency. So the measurement of how long it takes from just before sending a request to just after the request receiving the first response is called latency. Okay, so that is also you want to gather it. Connect time. So connect time basically is a SSL handshake, something like that. So most of the websites are now SSL. So when you do the handshake, how much time it just take to connect, not to serve the response request, only to connect to the website. Okay, so when I hit your website, you give me the response. So in a response, how much data we transfer, how much bytes per second we transfer from this request. Few KBs, few MBs, depends on that and kind of stuff. And few more algorithms are there, which I'll discuss little bit later because right now you'll get confused. Okay, so any questions so far?
No, no, no.
Okay, so now you need to understand three terminology which is very important and you have to spend a lot of time to gather the data. I'll send you the some assignment for this. One of this is transaction. Okay, another one is trace. Okay, another one is trace, and next one is span. Okay, so these three keywords we have to understand very carefully. Okay, so let me try to help you with it. So here, let's say this is your database server. This is your web server, oh, app server. This is a web server. Okay, so web app DB. I
It
mean, this is a simple architecture. In reality, will not be like that. It will be very complex. And this is you, end user, basically end user of website. So they will hit this website, and then something will happen here, and then this will hit, something will happen here,
application.
and then database, and finally response you got it. Correct now?
Yes.
So now the question is, what is this trace?
True.
So trace is between the two endpoints. So trace is basically between here to here. Let me change the color. Here to here, one trace. This is one endpoint to two endpoint. Between here to here, one trace. So in this whole things, you have one trace and one trace. So two trace. Okay. So there's a web server, app server. Between app server and web server, what is the uh,
Trace.
trace? I mean, how much time it has taken the web server to talk to app server. That is the things, and to get a response. So that is a trace. Okay. Now, what is a span? So here, when you hit the app server, let's say here you hit the main method, then some additional method, then additional method, and additional method. So now what is the trace? The trace is between this one and this one. So between the one class or one method to another method is called trace. So this is
Trace.
inside a code. So if you look at the product, actually you have a multiple programs, multiple classes, multiple methods. So in order to serve the response, you all travel these multiple classes and all. This is called span. So that means trace is equal to multiple span, correct?
Yes.
So if you want to know what is the web server app server response time, so you have to calculate all the trace. Now the question is, what is a transaction? Okay, what is transaction? So transaction is basically everything. That means all trace combine it and it's become a transaction.
Transaction.
Okay,
Hmm.
got it? So
Yeah.
now this keyword you need to little bit understand carefully. So here you see, I just explained it to you. The
Hmm.
trace performance monitoring uses trace to collect data about this process. Trace is a report that contain data captured between 2 points in time of your app. The collected performance data for each trace is called metrics, and very depending on the type of trace. Okay, look at this here. There's a one user, and this is the application, and there is a results. Now, if you see these applications, you have multiple applications. Here you see Node applications, Java, Ruby, PHP, external services. So every places you have to install the APM agent, and now APM agent will capture the trace and give you the results. Got it?
Yeah.
So like that, this is the monolithic applications, by the way. Oh no, no, sorry, this is the microservices. Okay, so now these are the comprehensive list of tools which we have in this category: New Relic, App Dynamics, Dynatrace, and few
Oh,
more. New Relic is a market leader in APM world, and New Relic is popular because of APM. Their first services got introduced is New Relic only. Understood?
yes.
Yeah. Okay, so any questions so far?
No, Rajesh. Good to go.
Yeah. So now what we'll do, I'll give you an assignment which you have to do that. And after this, we'll set up a APM environment. That means what we will do, you can come with a preparation. I'll tell you the high level information today. So here, this is your machine, okay? And then we'll install Java. So just get comfortable with the Java, install, and then after that we'll install the Tomcat, okay? And then we'll install applications. Okay, because we need to experience the real-time environment. And this application will create a traffic, and whatever the response time you're getting, this will collect at New Relic. And then, being an engineer, you will access the New Relic and analyze that each traces, which is good, which is not good, and where to work on it. Got it?
Yeah.
So here, spend some time with installing Java, spend some time with installing Tomcat and configurations of it. Applications, some sample you can deploy from the internet, Google, but anyways, many applications we have in the internet, so I'll use one of each and then go ahead with it. Got it?
Have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video.
Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest.
Thanks for watching.